Since we already discussed about all things about REST authentication methods, pagination, and how to connect an API, and we did using a sample APIs, we'll see the next in the course Snapbacks. Okay, SOAP and script are the small snaps. We'll finish it. After REST, SOAP, you know SOAP API?
Yes.
Okay. It's a legacy method of an API connection since very long before RESTful APIs are made. Okay, still some applications like IBM, Oracle, like old systems still use SOAP APIs. Okay, we'll try with an example scenario. Let's take a SOAP API. I missed to note it down again. Okay, this is a tool we need an API. That's okay. I have a sample REST SOAP API. I can open it. Okay, this is our SOAP API. Okay, SOAP API works based on the visitor URL, WSDL, we call it as visitor. Okay, here we have three main parameters. First, we should give the visitor URL, and if you open this URL in the browser, it opens all these. Here, if you see, this is the main and the whole schema of it. Inside you will see elements. Okay, element name. Hope you understand the XML syntax, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Here we see all the elements, right? These are the actual operations that we are going to select. So I'll show
This
you
is the
again.
calculator API.
Yeah, this is the visitor, the main API. Okay, under this API, we have to select the service. Okay, service name. If I click suggestion, this will be checked in the backend and it shows calculator. Calculator is the service that this API offers. Okay. This is the only service. Usually in real time, we will have several lists. If you click here, a long list appears. Okay, here since this is a small API, just for testing, we have only one service offered by this API, that is calculator service. You can see that here. Here you can see service name. This is a service this Snap is offering. So we have selected it. Under this service, we need to select which endpoint. Here we have calculator soap 1, 2. We'll select the soap, first one. That also you can see here calculator soap 2. Two endpoints for two services. Here the actual selection comes. What operation we need to select here? This service, this endpoint has 4 different operations. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, all these operations. Let's click add. So we are going to do addition operation. Okay, what it does. We need to know the background of this API, what data we need to pass and all for SOAP API, because we have only one snap in the SOAP. Okay, whereas in REST we have REST get to retrieve the data and REST post to send the data and REST put and delete various methods, right? But in SOAP there's only one snap, so any operation will take place here only. So how do you send the data now? Through this, do you see? Customize envelope. So when I selected that operation, the envelope will be generated. Here, this addition operation expecting two variables, int A, int B for addition operation. So we need to pass these two values. Either we can give like 10, 20 here, or we can select, we can pass these values from the previous snap upstream. Let's give that int A, int B. Okay. With mapper value 22, which is integer A, value 10, which is integer B. Okay, now let's see what happens. I'm selecting validate execute. It throws an error. Missing property value. Some property value is missing in the SOAP envelope. Property editable content. I mentioned as A and B. Okay, let's give A and B. So we should see the result 32. I do validate. So here in the response, I can see the body. This is the whole response content. Okay, in REST, we see 3 different objects, right? The response and the headers and the actual body, okay, status body. Okay, here we see everything in one object. This is the original data which we passed to SOAP snap. We'll see SOAP body. So add response. This is the actual response. Add result. What is the result? 32. What is the result? Result value. Okay. This is how we work with SOAP APIs. So applications like IBM and Oracle, like NetSuite still uses SOAP APIs. Anyway, to connect to NetSuite, we have NetSuite Snapback. You can directly use it. For some applications where we do not have the Snapbacks, we need to use via SOAP APIs.
So we'll be using this source SOAP and REST API where the ready snapbacks are not available.
Correct, yeah. For any application, to connect to any application, you receive like email, DB. Let's take NetSuite. Where is NetSuite? NetSuite here. We have all the NetSuite snaps, and you have some application like, let's say, Oracle Talent Link is an application. For that, we don't have the Snapback, but we have APIs. So we need to connect via APIs. It can be REST API or the SOAP API. That Oracle Talent Link application, some of their things do not support REST APIs. They support only SOAP. In that case, we need to use SOAP's APIs.
Got it.
And we need to clearly understand what body we need to send. Otherwise, it throws an error. Okay. Here in the envelope, we need to pass the whole information that the API requires, which means this endpoint requires this endpoint and the operation. This will be auto-generated. Sometimes we need to customize it. Okay. Here, if I click generate template, it will connect to API and bring the service endpoints body. Now you see it is generated. Gen to int A, int B. The backend it connects here and load start service endpoint body, what it is required. Okay, this is
Yes,
called
got it.
envelope. Okay. And then we go to email snapback. This is a very old and good useful snapback email. These are very useful snaps to send email and read email. We mostly perform these two operations, reading an email or sending an email. Archive, delete, we usually do not do, right, in the SnapLogic. And so most of the time we use email sender. Like when a pipeline completes, I want to send the data or some kind of information to some recipients, users, can be business users or the technical member. So we use the snap. At the end of the pipeline, we just connect the snap. And we need to understand how this snap works first. Okay. Right now we do not have a sample account to show you a demo because the Google recently blocked the third-party applications to connect. Earlier, we used to use Google, okay, to create a sample account. You can try it out if it is now connecting. Okay, there are some settings to be done. Still, they are restricting third-party applications to connect to their services. Okay. You can log in directly the Gmail on phone or via web, but they are restricting other applications to connect. So here we click an account, SMTP, we have two accounts, okay. To receive an email, it's a different protocol, right? IMAP mostly or the POP3. POP3 is an old model of the protocol to receive an email. IMAP is the latest one. If you need to read email and use the Snap, you need to create IMAP account with label and email ID, password, server domain, port number, and security. Is it a star TLS or SL or none? And if the email has any attachment, okay, that attachment is password protected. you can give that password here so that it will open that attachment and download it. Okay, and where to download the attachments, you can select here. Okay, and first we need to select the mail folder. It can be inbox or sent items or some other folder. If you set up account, this will appear in the suggestion box. Okay, and if you want to read unread emails only, you will read it. Number of messages, if you keep all emails will be read. But if you want a few, okay, like 10 messages only, 100 messages, you can give the number here, 10 or 20 number here. And older messages first. If you want sort by the date, okay, which is older, that sort will appear. And attachment folder, where you want to download the attachments. You can give the project path. By default, it is shared. Okay, and what happens? What's a file action when we download that attachment? If the same already present, a file with the same name already present, we need to override or rename or ignore error. All these options. Okay, and this target folder, name of the target folder. Okay, and this is for archive. If we enable archive messages after reading, which means once the Snap receives the email and read, where to move that email? Is it to deleted items or some other folder in your inbox? You will select that here. Okay, and to know these settings, okay, I will go to email center. The account is different here. SMTP account to receive an email. Sorry, to send an email. Here we need similar kind of information: email ID, password, server domain, port number, SSL connection. And where do you get it? These kind of information you can, if it is like a Google Mail, they shared a lot of information. Yeah, just here. You see, Gmail SMTP server, smtp.gmail.com. You'll give here domain, port number, whatever the port number they showed, SMTP port 465 for SSL, 57587 for TLS. We'll give 465 and we'll give our email ID. Okay, and the password, whatever the password is for this email ID. Okay, and if it is Office 365, you can see, you can see here itself. Here SMTP, smtp.office365.com, port number, star TLS enabled, and the username password we need to provide. Okay, sometimes this host name would be different based on the corporate host. Okay, and one thing here in the email sender snap, we have to
Yes.
BC BCC from ID. Okay, usually in the real time we get the generic email IDs created by the email admin. Office 365 admin person will create generic email account that can be used in third-party applications to send emails via SMTP. For that, we need to give, usually we see no reply dot, no reply at some domain.com. These kind of emails they will create. Yeah, the subject is common, and here the important thing, email type. What kind of body is this? Is it in a simple text? Let's take a simple text. This is a sample email. This goes in a simple text without any HTML content. This goes as a plain text, simple text in the HTML. If you select plain text, this is a pure plain text. In the email, you don't see anything apart from this text without any UI enhancement. Okay. If we give HTML text, we need to follow HTML code here. We know HTML code, no? If you want a template code, you can see here in the email sender. Here, this is for table. Okay, for simple HTML, they didn't share any, but we can search in Google like HTML, like text to HTML. We can type some text. This is it with a word. Okay, hi. Okay, we give some space here, and we give some font and font and the size. Convert. This you can simply copy in the snap. And some values we need to get from the upstream, right? We click on this. We need to do escape of all these codes, and then let's say the actual value we need to pass from the upstream. Like we need to keep it in a. Here we need to follow JSON syntax. Okay, some like dollar message. Message will be from the previous snap. Okay, hope you're getting it.
Yes, Sunil, I just got some network glitch and I was logged off. I was there till the page which you got the HTML code for the Gmail center and all the
Okay,
stuff.
that same is applicable to HTML table.
HTML table.
Okay, yeah, we mostly use HTML table, and when we are using table, okay, let's say we are receiving 10 records from the previous snap. Okay, it it has to send only one email, not 10 emails, right? They all should be in a tabular form.
Yes.
For that, we use table. If it is like we receive, the email sender snap receives only one record for sure, then use HTML text with whatever the body and from whatever the values you receive from the upstream. From the previous snap, you need to make it, beautify it with the HTML code, and then send it. If it is more than one value, we mostly use table, okay, to send some values like status and all. Let's keep a mapper, okay. Like 123 I'll give, like emp id this way. Here, let's say we are loading we are performing a use case that loads employee records into some system. At the end, we want to receive an email who are the users or the employee IDs loaded into the system. And what's the status of it? We get from the upstream status employee ID user. It, it is more than one always, right? Mostly. So we need all in a tabular format. So for that, we choose HTML table, we choose the path. If it is a dollar, simple dollar, if you have some path, you need to give that path here. And then follow HTML table and the HTML table syntax. Default table syntax, table HTML code is given here. If the table's type, okay, style type is snap, then it will recognize and create the body automatically. You can try it out. It's not a big thing, a small thing we need to understand HTML. We
So
just
I'll
copy
try.
paste the code. We don't need to work with HTML. Simply copy paste. That's what I do. I recommend to users because we don't need to learn HTML now for that, right? Some users do simple plain text. That won't be looking good, right? That serves the
Yeah.
purpose of sending a notification with the required information. But beautifying an email gives more impression. Same way, you can get, there's one good tool we can see. Text to HTML, word to HTML, that is called. I think this one. Yeah. Here we can insert a table of three, like ID, status, name. Here the table format, tabular code is present. Okay. And if we name this with this style, table.snap, that automatically takes, that's okay. You need to copy this code, entire table code, and keep it there. That's it. Okay, hope this is clear. And the batch says here, how many records will be sent in one table? If I keep 10, I received 2 from the upstream. It sends in 2 batches. Default it is 100. So for every 100 records, one table will be formed and sent. Usually we don't need several emails for several records, right? They all usually grouped into one email. List will be sent. Okay, and we use it very widely, the email sender snap, for various use cases to send notification emails to users. That's why I'm explaining more on this. Okay, and we can do whatever the beautification we want with HTML. Okay, we can connect with this.
Sure.
Done with the emails. Now we'll see script snap. Okay, as I said, we have like nearly 500 snaps. SnapLogic has inbuilt snaps. Okay, and we have expression language, different logical snaps to perform any kind of to implement any kind of logic with our existing snaps. In case you do not aware how to implement some logic or something is not possible with the existing snaps and you know how to do it with the scripts. It can be JavaScript or Python script or Ruby script. You can make use of this script snap, select the language and keep your code here. This is a wrapper code for this. You need to understand this entire with the given information. Clean up this code, all this information. We need to understand and put our logic here with the input data.
So this is a kind of we are developing our own Snap to connect to different platforms.
No, this is not using a custom snap. This is just a script, custom code we are using in this snap. Custom
Okay.
snap is a different way. We can build our own snaps, like all these snaps, email sender, mapper we have now. This way we can build our own snaps. I think I showed where to do it, right? That code, developer.snaplogic.com. In that, here, we get the sample code, all the wrappers, libraries. We can connect the Maven or any IDE to understand the whole, and here is developing snaps. We need to have IDE with the latest version of JDK to develop custom snaps. Here we are just placing some script. That's it. We receive data from upstream. Okay.
Got it.
And that does some logic implementing. I have an array and an object. I need to perform some aggregation operations, but I don't know how to do it with existing snaps or something that I feel as impossible to implement with existing snaps. I must use this because there's no other choice. But we do not recommend using scripts. SnapLogic always recommends to use any logic to implement with existing expression language. It is nearly impossible that no logic, some logic is there that can't be implemented here with existing language, existing uh, our expression language. Everything, almost what you can do in Python, what you can do in Java, JavaScript, that is possible with existing current logics, expression language. But some people use it if they do not know how to do it and they have some knowledge on the Java or Python. They make use of this snap. But this is not a preferred snap. Okay, because this snap has no memory optimization and no streaming service and some other dependencies. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, and we go next. Metadata snap pack and the transform snap pack. Okay, since the transform is the big one, we will see that in the next session. Today we'll finish with the SnapLogic metadata.
So it's been time. Shall we wind up for today?
Oh, 10:30.
Yes.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Meet at a
If
snap pack
possible,
and
can we connect today? I mean, if possible,
sorry.
if when you're free, just ping me. You can ping me at any time, evening or your best availability.
Yeah, sure then. Mostly, I may have time at 8 p.m. Is that okay for you?
Okay, you can ping me.
Okay. All right then. Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah,
Swell.
thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, have a